You know, in the biggest moments in sports, a single decision can be the difference between a legendary victory and a crushing defeat. But what if the most important mistakes aren't the ones we see on the replay, but the ones that are totally invisible? Well, today, we're going to break down a wild World Cup upset and look at a new kind of AI that saw the game in a way no human, not even the coach, ever could. So let's just get right to it with the big question. Could a piece of software, an algorithm, have actually saved Brazil from elimination in the 2018 World Cup? I think the answer is going to shock you, and it might just change the way you watch sports forever. Okay, so let's set the scene. It's the 2018 FIFA World Cup quarterfinal. You've got Brazil, just packed with superstars, squaring off against Belgium's so-called golden generation. I mean, the pressure does not get any higher than this. So let's quickly run through how it all fell apart for Brazil. Belgium gets up 2-0 pretty early on. At halftime, Brazil's coach, a guy named Titi, he starts scrambling. He pulls one player, then another a little later, and then he makes his final substitution. But it's just not enough. The final whistle blows, Brazil, the favorite, is knocked out. For them, it's a total disaster. But here's where the real story begins. Because a really fascinating analysis of this game suggests that everyone was looking at the wrong thing. The real, game-losing mistake wasn't about who was taken off the field, it was about who was left on. So some researchers applied a new kind of AI to the game data, and they found something they called the Fagner paradox. Now, Fagner was a defender for Brazil, and to this AI, he was basically a giant flashing red light on the field, a massive risk that, for whatever reason, the coaching staff seemed completely blind to. And get this, it wasn't just on the Brazilian side. The AI also pointed out the Lukaku paradox. So Belgium's star forward Romelu Lukaku had this amazing assist that led to a goal. To any human watching, the guy's a hero, right? But the AI saw something totally different. It saw a player who, after that one brilliant moment, pretty much disappeared from the game. So you have to ask, how in the world do these expert, world-class coaches miss this stuff? Well, it turns out that even the most brilliant human mind has its limits, especially when you're under the insane pressure of a do-or-die World Cup match. I mean, just think about it from their perspective. Every single call you make has millions of dollars and the hopes of a nation riding on it. You have to rely on your gut, on what you're seeing, on these fuzzy ideas like who looks tired or who's losing momentum. And here's the crazy part. For years, the AI we've built to help them just tries to copy what a human would do, which means it learns all the same biases and blind spots. And this right here, this is the core of the problem. Studies show that even our best machine learning models, they hit a wall. They can guess what a coach is going to do about 70% of the time. But that other 30%? That's the human element. That's gut feeling, intuition, and also where the big mistakes can happen. So just trying to mimic the coach is not going to cut it. And that's exactly where this new research flips the script. These scientists decided, okay, let's build an AI that doesn't try to predict the coach. Let's build one that acts as an objective, unbiased advisor. Basically, an AI with something kind of like common sense. The secret sauce here is a technology called fuzzy logic. And it's cool because instead of seeing the world in just ones and zeros, black and white, it thinks in shades of gray, just like we do. It can understand ideas like a player is getting kinda tired or is at a medium level of risk, instead of just needing a hard number. It gets the nuance of the game. So here's how it works. The system is constantly auditing every player. First, it looks at their raw performance. What are they actually contributing right now? Second, it estimates fatigue, using things like their age and how long they've been playing. Third is risk. Have they gotten a yellow card? Are they a defender who can't afford another mistake? And finally, context. Are they heating up or cooling down? It rules all that together to create one simple number, a substitution priority score. Okay, so now let's go back to that Brazil versus Belgium game and see what this AI auditor actually found, because, trust me, this is where it gets absolutely wild. So check out this table. On one hand, the AI actually saw what the coach saw. For the players he did take off, Willian, Gabriel Jesus, Paulinho, the AI agreed. It ranked them as second and fourth priority. Makes sense. But then you look at that last row. The AI's number one, highest priority, get this guy off the field now player was Fagner, the guy the coach never subbed out. Yeah, You heard that right. For pretty much the entire second half, from the 45th minute to the 85th minute, the AI was essentially screaming that this one defender, Fagner, was the single biggest problem Brazil had. And it wasn't just a small warming. It gave him a priority score of 100, the absolute maximum. It was the system's version of a 5-alarm fire raging in Brazil's defense. So, with the AI basically setting off every alarm bell it had, when did the coach finally listen and pull him from the game? He wasn't. Fagner played the entire game. And just to prove the AI's point, he got a yellow card in the 90th minute, a clear sign he was struggling and playing on the edge. It was a massive tactical blind spot that, you could argue, cost Brazil everything. And remember Lukaku, the Belgian striker? Well, the AI tagged him as Belgium's #1 substitution priority right after his big assist. Why? Because after that one play, his overall involvement in the game just dropped off a cliff. The human coach waited over 50 minutes to finally take him out, but the AI saw the problem instantly. It wasn't fooled by a single flashy moment. And all of this points to a completely different way of thinking about how AI can be used in sports. It's not about predicting the future, it's about auditing the present. Look at the difference here. Old school predictive AI tries to guess what the coach is going to do. It's like a student who just memorizes the answers from last year's test, including all the mistakes. This new approach, this prescriptive AI, is totally different. It's an independent auditor. It doesn't care what the coach did last time. It uses cold, hard logic to recommend what the coach should do right now. And this, for me, is the most powerful idea in all of this. A typical AI model would say this system failed because it didn't correctly predict that Fagner would stay in the game. But in this case, that so-called inaccuracy, its disagreement with the human, was its single greatest strength. Its job wasn't to copy the mistake, its job was to spot it. And it did. This just blows the doors wide open for the future of sports. We're not talking about replacing human coaches with robots. We're talking about giving them an incredible new tool, like a superpower, to see the hidden forces at play in a game. And that leaves us with one last, really provocative question to think about. As this kind of technology gets better and better, will the next World Cup or the next Super Bowl be won by the best coach or by the coach who has the best algorithm sitting on the bench next to them? The game is definitely changing, both on a field and off.